When they win, they cry, they grow, next day still go to school, life goes on. When they lose, they cry, they grow, next day still go to school, life goes on. Dance is a great way for us to learn more about things that are outside dance as well. We have never went in with the idea of like, okay, let's design this piece to win. It's really about designing this piece and how best we can give integrity to the concept itself. Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Terence Then. I am the dance coach for the Temasek Freestylers, which is the dance club of Temasek Secondary School. So this club existed way before me. I think I am the third or fourth coach to take over, and I took over in 2012, and so it's been 14 years since I've coached the club. So we joined Super 24 a total of 8 times, excluding the COVID period. And we were very blessed to be able to win the championship title for 4 times and first run-up for 3 times. I treat competition the same as showcases, I feel. And I think that itself is a risk alone, right? Because when people head into competition, the formulas and the way that they approach it might be different. But for me, it's really always about the concept first. Yeah, so I think that itself is risk-taking already, because we have never went in with the idea of like, okay, let's design this piece to win. It's really about designing this piece and how best that we can give integrity to the concept itself. Yeah. So over the years, we did many kinds of concepts, but in the recent 2 years, I remember we did one on Chinese orchestra, where I myself and the students had to actually learn and dive into the history, the culture, and the different instruments of the Chinese orchestra itself. And our most recent Super 24 was about a concept called kintsugi, which is the art of repairing something with gold and turning something imperfect into something more beautiful and of a higher value. And for that piece itself, everything from the movement design, from the costume, from the staging, everything was actually inspired by the many layers of this kintsugi concept. It is definitely a challenge, but I think as a designer of a piece or as a coach or a director of that piece, you need to be able to understand the concept to a deep level first before you explain it to the students. So if we are taking the year where we did Chinese orchestra, I had to approach Dr. Samuel Wong, who is from the Ting Company, creative director, and really understand more about Chinese orchestra and the culture and the history behind it. You have to study, go through all the different instruments and what they mean, what are the different sounds involved in it. And I think from there, it's really about creating a document or slide to really brief the students where they could really dive into the concept before we even started designing and choreographing and going into the piece itself. Yeah. It is definitely challenging because a lot of these topics and concepts are outside of dance, but I always believe that dance is a great way for us to learn more about things that are outside dance as well. I remember when results were out and they were all crying, the first thing that the school leaders and the teachers did was to rush to McDonald's, buy 20 over McFlurry ice cream, come back and let them eat ice cream. So even though they are sad, at least they have some ice cream to feel better. And for us as a club, I think results are something that you can never control, but what we really can control is how we adapt to it, how we move on, how we choose to react, and how we choose to grow from it. I think for me, it's really all the same. When they win, they cry, they grow, they next day still go to school, life goes on. When they lose, they cry, they grow, next day still go to school, life goes on. And it's really the same to me. It's just really different ends of emotions. Time is always very tight when you're planning for Super 24, right? And as a context, you have maybe 8 to 13 rehearsals before you you compete, in the prelim. So time is always very, very tight. And over the years, a lot of times I just rely on myself as a coach. I think what was different about 2024 was that I decided to start to rely not just on myself and the current students, but to expand and try to tap into the minds of the alumni as well. So I choreographed the piece together with Yoshi, who was actually a TMS Freestylers alumni, and I involved many other alumni as well as part of the creative process. So I think overall the piece had a lot more elements, a lot more brains, a lot more ideas, and from there we are able to take some, we are able to discard more, we are able to combine more, we are able to blend more, and that resulted in the overall design of the piece itself.
Special guest number 1, please enter.
Hey, hello! Hello!
And special guest number 2. Special guest number 2. I was with Temasek Sec from 2013 to 2016, and I remember joining the first time Temasek Freestylers joined Super 24 in 2014. Yeah, I still remember that one time we sat there, and then you were
same studio, right?
Same
studio looks the same.
Yeah, then you take out your computer. You're like, hey guys, I want to tell you about this competition, Super 24. Then you turn around, then you play us the video of NRA Legacy. And then you let us watch.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then you're like explaining the rules, like, oh, it's a square. Then we like, whoa. Yeah, then you're like, let's join this year. And you're like, okay, let's join. Yeah, and I think that as a dancer and member of the club that time and a member of that team, like, it was just, there was so much like fire seeing how the leader and instructor of that team was so hyped and like want to join that thing, and it made me like, oh, let's go, okay, let's go. And even though, yeah, it was very new at that time to us, like, oh, Super 24 at 14 years old, I don't know what's that. And okay, we just go, and we got second in 2014. And I was like, damn, like, it's damn crazy. And the year after that,
we had no place to practice the song because studio cannot fit 8 by 8.
Yeah.
We only had we had to squeeze on the stage.
School hall.
Yeah, school hall.
We on the stage.
Yeah.
It was just it was just such a funny thing to get used to practice in a square. It was just like mind-boggling. And a year after that, we joined again. Like Terence was like, okay, let's join Super 24 one more time. Yeah. And I remember the song was can or something.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I heard the song at that time, I was like, oh my god, like oh, it's such a goofy and funny song. But then seeing like how into it Terence was made me also like, okay, let's do it. Even though at that time, like, like to imagine myself wearing the blazer suit, wear the heavy makeup on my face, like ooh, not my thing, but but seeing the instructor so on board and so into it also made me feel, as a dancer, I should also like go all into it. And that year was the first time we won Super 24.
Yeah, I think thanks for having the trust, man. I think at that point of time, I also just entered as a coach. I was still a very young coach, right? And honestly, now still young. You got mustache now already. But honestly, at that point of time, as a new coach, I didn't really know what I was doing also. So I only had the support of the students and the school, and we just went for it. And over the years, then everyone grew together as well.
I joined Temasek in 2017, second half of it. So on 2017, when I just joined, it was the July period, June-July period. So I was already a teacher then, but I was not involved in the Super 24, so I participated as an audience member then. And to see them on stage doing the shoe choreography, that one, it was so exhilarating. It was so happening. And I felt that wow, this is a competition that means so much to the team and means so much to the students because they really work very hard towards it. So in 2018, 2019, we continuously participated, and what I noticed from Terence is that his care and support for the students is always very, very meticulous. He's always looking out for all the dancers. I mean, there are 24 on stage, but there are also other reserves there that he's always also making sure that everyone is feeling good and being supported by yourself and true enough, I think for me the results didn't matter as much as the journey in which they took. And that's what I also appreciate, that you always guide them and say, okay, remember this is a journey when this first starts, maybe in March and April, all the way until what is on stage. So I think you always use the Chinese saying, okay, my Chinese not so good, but it's the one that you work 10 years on off stage, and then when you go on stage, it's just that 1 minute, 90 seconds, and that is all you can give to the competition. So I really like that idea that the dancers grow from that period on, and that's how amazing I think this competition is for the students, the experience of it and the journey through. So as what I mentioned just now about the venues, right? Yeah, so venue, because this dance studio is so small, I remember there was many times where we had to go to the art room, the squeezy art room.
Oh yes, the art room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then we had
the
to make
art
sure
room.
that we had to make sure that everything was all tables were pushed aside, and then because at the sides was just nice, the 8 meters,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
they were very careful with the window grills and everything, and then they rearranged everything back. So the venue was always an issue for us, but I think we overcome it by always thinking out of the box. Literally thinking out of the box, going down to canteen. We danced in the canteen before, shifted the tables. We danced in the parade square. We danced in the hot sun before, just to have that 8 by 8 meters, which I thought was, wow, it was really, really something quite like we can dance anywhere, and still work hard towards it, yeah.
And in case you didn't know, Elliot joined Super 24 before as well. And as much as he always does his best to support the students to his maximum, I think the students are always very excited to support you on stage as well. Yeah.
That's the cue to
So as a coach, you need to be able to adapt and lead from different positions, be it whether it's vertical or horizontal, right? So let's say we take vertical as an example. You need to be able to lead from the top, where you're able to cast a vision, you're able to see clearly the direction of where the students are going. You're able to see the potential of where the students can be, even if they can't see it themselves. You need to also be able to lead from the middle, where you're able to stand beside them. You're able to relate and understand how they feel. And you must be also able to lead from the bottom, where you find yourself lifting them up when they are defeated and on the verge of giving up. Before the students were dancers of the dance club, they are first and foremost students of the school. So we need to be able to understand and see from the school's perspective and what is important to them. And I do feel like the values of the club, the culture, and how we want the students to grow moving forward has to be very clearly communicated. And these common values that the school leaders, the coaches, and the teachers share, and that will eventually build a lot of trust in all parties over the years.